Hey guys, we are live. It is Wednesday, October 24th, 2018. I am with, look how beautiful she looks, Alexia Boodram.
She can clean up.
She can, and her husband, Brian Boodram.
Just as beautiful?
Just as beautiful, and apparently thinner than the last time I saw you. I don't know. So let us know you can hear us or see us. This is episode 266 of The TED Show. Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart. I don't know if you guys know this, but on Facebook Live, Sharon Smith, I haven't seen you in 1,000 years.
Hey,
Hello.
Sharon.
You can actually hide yourself from being viewed. So that's why I ask people, even if people aren't on. And I didn't tell you that you're going to naturally want to look at me, but I encourage you to look at the screen. Okay. So Chris is on, Sharon's on, Lisette is on. What's up, Liz? So let us know you can hear us or see us before I get into the beautiful love story that is Brian and Alexia. All right, so we got a thumbs up. All right, so welcome. So we got together because Yvonne Sandoval and I hosted a happy hour together. Mm-hmm. And the last I knew, Brian was at RP Funding. Mm-hmm. See, I brought it up. And he was there, and I didn't know you guys were in real estate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when I saw the name, I'm like, there is no way it's the same. I mean, how many Boodrams are there?
Yeah.
So I was very excited. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Okay, we're feeling good. We're
feeling
better.
Good, good.
We got the
Feeling
vibe
good.
going.
Yep.
All right. So thank you, Bob. So tell us a little. People like to know background. They like to know about you individually, and then how you came together as a super couple. I think that's what I put on there. And then we talk about your why. So give us a background on each of you.
So I have been in the real estate field for over 15 years. I started at title and then went to real estate closings, worked at a law office, and then realized I wanted a little bit more freedom and I wanted to enjoy life a little bit more and have flexibility and hopefully make good money, which, you know, that's the goal, is to work hard and everything. So that's kind of why I switched over to real estate. So
Look at Craig Delahoy says, "Be gentle with them."
That's our coach.
I love you.
Craig's our
coach.
Craig's
Best
the
coach
best
out there.
on the planet. Absolutely the best.
Craig
all the way
enjoys
from
his time with us.
Yes, well, Craig's an amazing man. All right, so I'm going to back you up a little bit.
Back up.
You were not born a realtor. You were not
No.
born in the real estate. So give us a little background on you. What did you do before anything in the real estate world?
No, nothing as much exciting. I was born in Illinois but raised in Orlando, and I got into real estate when I was in my 20s, and it's kind of where we're at right now.
I love
nervous.
it. Why are you nervous? It's me, you, and Brian looking at my phone. I mean,
Talking
I
about
promise
me.
you. No, it's
Tell
good.
us about you, Brian.
Oh, look at
Oh,
her
she's-
deflect.
she's
That is
good.
so
I love it.
good. All right, so Brian, we'll bring it back to her. Don't worry.
Yeah, we will.
Brian, you go. You tell us a little bit about you.
Been in the mortgage. I mean, anyone that's followed me on Facebook knows that I bled blue for a long time working at RP Funding. So, and just decided to switch gears and just thought the idea, hey babe, why don't we team up and be this dynamic real estate couple? And we did it. And I must say, since March, it's been the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It's been phenomenal. I mean,
It was
I
our
can't-
calling.
It was your calling.
It was,
Yeah.
definitely.
So-
Everything has lined up for it to be here at this point.
So much like Alexia, Brian apparently was born a realtor. So we're not going to hear any of that. Yes, we are.
Brian's
so tell us a
from New
little bit.
York.
So, oh, Yami, look, Yami says you worked at SunTrust Bank together.
Oh,
See?
what's up, Yamil? What's up?
He's
Dale
awesome.
pa' abajo. He's gonna like that one. He
Okay,
taught me that.
fantastic. So tell us a little. So you were born. Where were you from? And what did you grow up? Where did you grow up? What was
Okay.
your
So I was born in Trinidad. So I am.
My Trini boy.
Trini boy? See, I didn't know
Trini
that.
boy.
Indian,
That's
so-
what people want to hear. That kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
So West Indian. Moved to New York when I was 4. So grew up in the Bronx, DX. So a Yankee fan. Only because I grew up in the Bronx. I really don't watch sports. But moved to Florida in '96, and I've been in Florida since then. Love it. I still go back and visit my parents in New York, and I have a
They're
lot of
still in the
friends
Bronx.
there. Still in the Bronx, same apartment building. But
How is the Bronx? Because Brooklyn and that all the boroughs seem to have. There's a lot of great food. It's $4 million brownstones now in Brooklyn. How's the Bronx doing in that?
Yeah, it's still the Bronx.
Still,
so,
still the Bronx, baby.
Still the Bronx. Yeah. I mean, it's no Brookstones there. I mean, it's a lot of culture.
Yeah.
Definitely great food. Best pizza in the Bronx, I think, by far.
See, everybody says their different borough has the best pizza.
Best pizza.
All right, so how did you two meet?
We got a cute little story.
Oh, good.
So we both rode motorcycles, and
See, something we didn't know
yeah,
about you.
We were actually cool ones. Yeah.
I'm still cool.
I'm still cool too. I don't know what you're still cool
I'm trying. Can we connect my Trini friend? Trini folks. I swear I'm Trini. I'm really
She
not.
thinks
Just
she's
love me
Trini
some
too,
Trini
but-
folks. So, anyways, saw him outside on his motorcycle. Asked him for a ride, and it was kind of since then we rode off into the sunset.
Nice.
But our stories kept aligning as much as I'd send him that way and I'd go this way. We'd always, even within the business, like he'd be in mortgage and I'm title, and I'm like, we're working together, and I'll look over and he's on the side of the street, like on the next car. Hey,
It was meant to
it was,
be.
our story is totally meant to be.
What title company were you with?
I
Exceptional.
worked for Exceptional Title. There was my starter.
I love it.
Exceptional Title folks.
So you guys met because of the industry.
And because I asked him for a ride on his
You asked.
motorcycle.
Listen, that is quintessential movie ending.
Mm-hmm,
I got a ride on the motorcycle, and we rode off into the sunset.
Sure
Do you
did.
both ride motorcycles still?
I don't. He does.
I just recently got a Harley. We've always rode sport bikes, and then actually I was taking bold at Keller Williams, and I just felt so bold and empowered. I went out and bought a $20,000 Harley. Wife was not happy about it.
Yeah,
Do you know how much
part of the,
booze you
that
can
wasn't
buy?
part of the deal,
That
guys.
was not part of the Trini deal.
Not part of the deal. But he's owning up his part, so I guess he can.
I love it.
He does look kind of cute on it.
I bet you do. Do you ask him for a ride now?
I do sometimes.
I love it. See, there's the. How long have you guys been married?
We've been married for 10 years.
10 years.
Oh wow! See, you act like newlyweds.
So, was it been 10 years?
I think it's been
Well, we
10
kind of did it backwards. We had our son, our 12-year-old, he's first. He was at our wedding, so, but yeah, it's been
No, we've been married 8 years,
8
Brian.
years. Oh, okay. It's been a
Yeah.
long time.
Listen, they're married.
I
That's
got
all
it
that
on
matters.
My ring. That's how I remember.
That's how
we
I
were married in
remember.
2010. Yes.
Okay,
8
so
years.
Yes,
8 years.
Vista Church.
Very nice.
Vista
That was not a
Community.
trick question, I promise.
Listen, a note to self: engrave it on your ring, and then when you're
It's on
asked the
the
question,
inside?
you
There
just
you
gotta
go.
look. It's real simple.
12 years, 10 years, 8 years.
It's like
it's all the
forever.
same.
Listen, what we've been through a lot. So,
I will say I love you more now than ever. I think.
Aww,
I think real estate
that's
brought us
so
closer together.
Real estate, I know. I don't.
Yeah,
have-
because sometimes when you work together, that can be really difficult. Like I had
Yeah.
to, my wife worked in my real estate office, my insurance offices for me, and I had to fire her to get her out of there.
Yeah.
Because that was not a positive, wonderful thing for us.
It's different. It's hard. Like we work from our home office. We just purchased a home a year ago, and we have a home office. And I was by myself all the time doing my thing in my own space. So it went from being alone to having someone there. Not only someone there, it's my husband as well. And I must say, like you handle it well. I sometimes work in the dining room because he's loud. And
You're not making my calls.
No way.
I like to do my own thing and sit in the room, but it works out. Like it's the best decision.
So thank you, Luke, by the way. I appreciate that.
Hey, Luke, what about me? I just had this one
Brian,
too.
you look good. You always look good. All right, so tell us about that relationship. So you get it. Real estate is already. People think it's easy. It's not. People think it's not a lot of work, and you make $100,000 out the gate, and you don't.
No.
So tell people about how you all work together. Do you each have a strength that you focus on? Do you kind of tag team? How does that work?
So Brian is more of the phone strength. He's got the confidence. He's got the ability to get on and make those phone calls, get that business, call the for sale by owners, call the expires, whatever it takes. I, on the other hand, like to work it once we're there. I like to work. I'm a relationship person. I love working with people, and so that's kind of where we take it. So he's got the beginning stage of it, and I've got take him to closing. Take
I
him
love
home.
it. Luke just said, love her hair and makeup.
Thank you.
See?
Shout out to Chelsea. From where? Your hairstylist?
Oh, I don't know the name of her company.
Ah,
Chelsea for my hair.
Listen,
though.
Chelsea who did the hair.
Chelsea did my hair. Chelsea with the good hair.
I didn't know Chelsea with the good hair, but thank you for that, Luke. But when you all are in the real estate world, which has been kind of changing, right? So we've had a lot of adjustments. Interest rates are going up a little bit, so the market's kind of shifting. How do you figure out what you're going to target and the best way to target it. Because what you put in your what you put on your website, which is what I pulled from, is experience is super important.
It is.
So when you're out there in the world, how do you differentiate yourself from the other real estate agents?
Because we come with a field of knowledge. Brian comes from the loan side. I feel it's very important with real estate is that we all stick to our profession.
Yes.
I am a realtor. That is my profession. But what's helpful is that Brian has experience in lending.
Yes.
I have experience in title. I have experience with in the law side of it with like short sales. So we can bring this knowledge to the table. Whereas we know the answers rather than let me find out and what can I find out and let me research. As much if I don't know the answer, I will find the answer. But it's important because we can bring a little bit more to the table when it comes to what you need to do, what you need to expect, and how to go about it. We have both of us, over 15 years of this experience. So
Plus, we have our gift. I mean, I focus on conversations that matter. So I'm really honing in on the clients, building that relationship, bringing them over, and then Alexia just takes it from there. She's numbers. She knows the fundamentals of real estate. She knows how to price out a house so it sells. Our average day on the market right now is 22 days. On the market, it's something
That's unreal.
Yeah, so it's really great.
So how are you feeling the market is shifting? I keep reading stuff. Even Aura or NAR might have had something about that. So are you feeling like it's shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market? What are you guys sensing or feeling out in the field?
I feel like my buyers are having a little bit more ability to purchase, because it gets to a point sometimes where it's such a seller's market where you don't really know how to make it work. Like, okay, let me really think out the box on this one and really think how we can make this deal work. So whereas regards like it's shifting where there's a little bit more opportunity, which is nice for the buyers as well. Sellers do rule, sellers do rule, and they still have the upper hand, but it's nice for buyers because there's a little bit more options where you don't have these off the wall, unrealistic offers going in. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's great to cause, what's the word I'm looking for? Competition in the market.
Sure.
Competition is great, but it can also be very stressful on buyer's end. So great for a seller, but hard.
Well, I think also that because there's so many options now, right? So we're going to eventually do a show very soon about OfferPad and OfferPad, no. Yes,
Yeah,
OfferPad. There's a whole bunch of things that are changing the platform, the outlook, the environment in the market. And so I think consumers are becoming even more confused. They don't know what to do. So as a realtor, as a lender, I think we have our work cut out for us to overcome that, or to at least bring it into our world and be able to share the information that we have.
Yeah.
You can't just go out and say OfferPad's bad and not have any backing. You have to be able to talk through it with your borrower, with your seller, whomever you're working with. You have to be able to understand what an OfferPad. I'm just using them as an example. But that's a changing market. It's kind of like when everybody goes online, and Brian will appreciate this. They go, "Oh, I've got a pre-approval from online," and I'm like, do you even know the name, or can you pronounce the name of that lender? Because I don't know it.
And have you sent in your docs?
Yes.
Documents.
So talk about that a little bit. Since you have a unique perspective, I preach on top of every hill, anybody who will listen, a real pre-approval has some sort of documents involved.
Hey, listen, anybody can have their credit run all day long, but if you're not sending in the valid information, then you're wasting everybody's time. Not only are you wasting your time, you're wasting the opposite, whether they're the seller on the seller side, I mean, our time, everybody's time.
Realtors, I need you to listen to that.
Most importantly, your time. Like, you're gonna get your heart set, you're gonna fall in love, you're gonna picture yourself decorating it, and little did you know that you wrote off $40K of your unreimbursed expenses.
Right, or hey, I make $75,000 a year, but I just started my job yesterday.
Yeah.
You have to get that information, and so the lender is always in an interesting position. Brian will attest to this, because you don't want to step on the toes of the realtor. You don't want to mess up any relationship, but you have to ask the hard questions. So if the realtor isn't on board with that, it can be a really slippery slope with them.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we mentioned earlier. It's about everyone having their roles. So you know, as realtors, we want to make sure that we're guiding our clients to the right lender that's putting the customer first, because everyone has gimmicks out there.
Right.
You know, there's don't pay this, don't pay that. And in the
Yeah.
end, the client ends up losing. And we realize that. It's like, you know what, there's no free lunch. You know, I came up with the hashtag choose your realtor. Reason for that was, you know, it's like, interview your realtor, whether it's us or another real estate professional. Make sure it's a real estate professional that you're dealing with.
Right.
Same with your lender. Make sure that they're looking at your documents, that they're taking the time, so that way when it's that, you know, final hour and they can't get a clear to close, they've looked at everything.
No surprises.
It's so important.
Who wants a surprise
No.
at the end
Not
of a
me.
transaction? I don't want any surprises.
Well, there's so many highs and lows in from start to finish as it is, and for me, I emotionally get attached because I emotionally attach myself with my client for the most
Sure.
part. You can't help it. You're in this ride with them. So for that to come at the end, it's devastating. So, and especially if it can be not.
So realtors, I just want to encourage you, since there's a lot watching, there's always a lot that follow up. You want to get, in my opinion, it'd be better for you and for your borrower if you got a real pre-approval.
Yes.
I mean, obviously I want you to use me, but I just want the borrower to be ready, and for you to be ready, and to just go in it because you're afraid of losing the borrower, you're afraid of challenging your borrower, you're not being a good advisor to them if you are not asking them the harder questions.
Yeah.
And they don't know it always. So
No.
if they're told online, like the commercials, that you can have a pre-qual in 5 minutes, well, I can write you one on a napkin if you want me to, but that is not going to get you anywhere if I haven't really done my research as a
No.
lender.
No.
So what do you guys see on the social media side? Because you guys are you're pretty social media
Social
savvy.
butterflies.
So you're social butterflies. What are some of the things that people can do, or what do you guys think that maybe the future of the real estate world with all the challenges that we're having, what do you guys do different that maybe sets you apart from other real estate agents?
I would say take pride in your profession.
Yeah.
Like really hone in and learn it. Like when I left the mortgage industry, so many people approached me, hey Brian, hang your license here, you can do both. And I'm like, well no, I really want to give either 100% at mortgages or 100% at real estate. We know that when you mix the two, the end result is not good.
Correct.
It crumbles. You either want to be the best mortgage professional that you can be and best mortgage company, or you want to be the best real estate company. So I think that's key. Hone in, figure out what you want to do. We all have our gifts and talents. Bring it to that industry. So with us, it's real estate, 100%.
I think that's so important because back in the day, pre the crash, you had people that owned a mortgage company, a title company, a real estate company, a credit company. I mean, it was insane what you had to deal with back then and what you were able to get away with. I don't know that was the best thing for the consumer. I'm all for the open marketplace and doing your thing, but sometimes if you're spread that thin, it doesn't do any good for your clients.
No, I want to focus only on what I need to focus on. You, I need to focus on the sale or the purchase of your home. I don't need to. I mean, if you need to repair your credit, then I'm going to get you to the best place that's going to get you to get your credit score where it needs to be to purchase the home. If you need, in any direction that goes in. So I think that's just very important. And like Brian said, just focus on it, and if I don't know the answer, I'll get you the answer, but if not, I'll send you to the right person. But for realtor wise, we got this.
And so I don't think we didn't tag. Where do you all work? What office do you work at?
From the Boodram group,
The
our home
Boodram
office.
group?
No. We're
Keller
Williams,
Williams,
Lake Nona,
Okay.
Advantage 3.
Advantage 3. See, that's important because a lot of people. The reason
Love
I
our
asked that
office.
is I love your office.
Listen,
too.
the office, we're not big in the office. It's funny because we're like, people like know who we are in the office, but we don't have we don't go in the office much. I like to just kind of stay in our little beautiful little office. But it's nice to go in, but anytime, any support,
need
anything
something,
I
it's
need, and you can go, listen, everybody all says, come here, this, that, the other.
That's the thing.
If
So
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I love that office because of the environment it creates.
Totally.
It's nothing to do with the name.
No.
Because each office is different, as you guys know. But I love that office because you really do. I feel like there's such a collaborative spirit there.
I'm a little sad that Chubb left, though.
I know.
Chubb,
I
we
was
miss you.
so
Miss
sad.
you,
Where did
Chubb.
he go to?
South Carolina.
I know.
He's gonna go kick butt in that Keller
Of
Williams
course he
office.
is.
But I
But
do
the
miss my
environment itself is so positive.
It really is.
And everybody really does. Like you guys, in general, I see people out together. You do
Yeah, it's
events
not a cat
together.
fight. Yeah, no.
There's no cat fight. And I think that more realtors in general, it would be lovely if we could all be more collaborative as a
That's
whole.
what it's all about. It's teamwork to the end. That's when we get a deal going. I'm like, okay, just want to let you know it's teamwork. Like it makes the both of us together doing what we need to do to get to the end result. So teamwork makes the dream work. So that's all it
Teamwork
is.
makes the dream
Teamwork
work.
makes the dream
Is that your
work.
hashtag? No, what was your hashtag earlier?
Hashtag-
Choose your realtor.
Choose your realtor.
Gotta be careful with hashtags.
Gotta
yeah.
be careful with hashtags.
Gotta be careful with
Yeah,
hashtags.
people take hashtags seriously.
Yeah.
You gotta
No,
watch
they
it.
really do.
Oh,
It's
they do.
crazy.
Oh, we know.
All right, so we're going to share all of Brian, see how fast it goes? Brian and Alexia's contact information,
Yes.
how you can reach out to them, how you can do a deal with them, how you can, you have people on here who've been scrolling through. I'm sorry we didn't respond to everybody, but we will, I promise. We're going to share all of that after the show. They're going to do the hashtags, do your URL, do your emails, whatever you want to do. Any parting words of wisdom for them? Anything each of you want to share with them before we head out?
I would like to say what you give in life, you get in life. I'm a big believer of what you put out there, you're going to receive. How you treat people, you're going to be treated back. So that's my biggest thing is be kind and do to others as you want done to yourself. I smile at people, I wave at people, I'm kind, I want the same to me, and I feel like I get that back because I give that. So it's like the simplest thing in life. It really is. I had a bad day yesterday. I still found my way around smiling when at Zaza's, and but I got a smile back. 2 people gave me a grizzly look. 1 person gave me a smile, and it just it's so simple. So just give. You're gonna get what you give. Give what you get.
So let me ask you before Brian does his. Is that people always want to know, okay, we all sound so positive on the show. Is that something you were raised with? Did you always have that attitude? Did you always have that belief? Or is that something you've learned over time?
I think for me, it's just kind of who I am as a person. I've always been like a really friendly person. I've always been a kind person. I was never one to like make fun of people or do anything like that. So it's just a trait that I've kind of have. I think it's something that you possess. For some people, they have to put themselves out a little bit more. For me, it's easy to talk to a stranger in Publix and ask them how their day is.
I think it's a decision.
Yeah.
You're gonna choose to
I
be
agree.
nice or choose not to be nice.
Yeah, it's so easy too.
But I think a lot of people find it difficult.
Yeah.
And it's because they haven't tried it. I think once you try it, it takes more effort to frown
It really does.
than it does to smile. It takes more effort to avoid people and not engage them than it does to just say hi and be kind. So a lot of people go, oh, Ted, they're just more evolved than I am. Listen, we are all in that evolutionary stage, and we're all progressing. So don't think that we're better just because we're on the
No.
show. We're all going through it. We're trying to figure it out too, but at least we're making a conscious decision, like Brian said, to do it. All right, Brian, what are your
My
last...
final words is, first I gotta say, do you see why I love her so much? She's just beautiful. I love her.
She is.
Best words, make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Nice. I bet you've heard that. I could tell
I
you.
have. I'm going to strangle him sometimes. They say he's so positive sometimes that I can only handle so much of it. And when I get my double chin and my wrinkle up here, my son's like, "Mom's mad," and I'm like,
Oh, there it goes. No, but my wife's like that too. Stacy will say, like, she's like, "You're always happy." I go,
Yeah.
but I still have struggles, right? So Brian
Yeah.
does too.
Yeah.
But I'm always in a good mood. I mean, it's not that booze doesn't help. A little
Booze
bit.
always
It
helps.
I mean, hello.
And Christ helps too. Realtors for Christ. That's
Hey,
our
Right,
hashtag.
that's another hashtag.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
can talk
yeah.
about that.
That's our biggest thing.
That's our big thing.
Is being able to. That's where we're wanting to get to be able to give back and to do more and to really find our place of where we can. And I'm just kind of letting Brian take the lead on that. And then all we need to do is hustle so that we can give
Yeah.
and reap the benefits of life.
Well, you're planting all the seeds, which is also
all
biblical
we're
and
doing.
wonderful.
Mhm, absolutely.
I think a lot of people are looking. So I'm a Christian, so we talk a lot about on the show about higher power. I try to be respectful of everybody's beliefs.
Of course.
But afterwards, the people will say, well, you only bring Christians on the show, or you only bring, and I'm like, no, I don't, I swear. But I think most of the people who have evolved, who are willing to come on the show and talk, they have some sort of relationship either with a higher power, or they believe in something that's bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
And so they're willing to have a real conversation about that. And I think people are so needy, desperate for that in these crazy times that we live in. And we don't talk about it enough in our profession. We don't talk about the things that we should talk about. We talk about business, but we don't talk about our beliefs. And I think people will be more attracted as a Christian. Obviously, I feel like my business is my mission. I mean, it's part of what I do. And so if I can put it out there that I'm a good human being, like you guys talked about, then people are drawn to that.
Drawn to it.
They're looking for that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys saying that, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
See, I don't ask. I should ask. I should be better about it. All right, so we'll share everything. We'll share all their contact information. You guys have been a joy. All your little loving kisses and stuff. Good Lord. It's afternoon.
Give me another drink.
We need another cocktail. All right.
Yes, we do.
We love you guys. We will see you tomorrow. I'll be at an event at Lions Pride with the CFL Personal Injury Mixer, and that's going to be fun. So we're going to be live from there. But if you need us, reach out to Alexia and Brian, and of course, you know how to reach me. All right. We love you guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Ed. Bye.